Hey, welcome. We're going to do a really simple capsicum and spinach pie with some filo pastry there, and some puff pastry. You could do it all with puff pastry or with filo. I just want to put a little cover on that just to keep it relatively damp. And it is as simple as just adding ingredients in. I've got the oven at 180 degrees, preheating, a little bit of butter in that pan, because I want to, with the onion, I just want to cook it a little bit. You don't have to, but you don't necessarily want that raw onion, because essentially what's happening when you do the pie itself, it only takes about half an hour or so in the oven, and it's it really just it doesn't need to be in there that long. So therefore, you just want to kind of cook it quickly. Have a lot of this ingredients already pre-cooked, and we'll just keep that going. Relative heat there. Beautiful. And then it's just a case of, I've just got some spinach in there. You can put a lot of things in there. I've got spinach, I've got a cheese. You can put different types of cheese in there. You could put some other hard cheeses, or some filo, other ingredients. I'm going to just do 4 eggs. You can do sort of, depending on how you mean it. I hope this is going to serve around sort of 4 people, roughly. Again, you can put in any kind of herbs if you want. I'm just going to go salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic as well, just to give it that extra little bit of taste. So just a little spoonful of garlic there. Not too much, just a little teaspoon of garlic. And a bit of salt and pepper. It's pretty simple, right? It really is just filling this in, and then putting it in. Now with I'll just put a bit of salt in. With the filo itself and the short crust, make sure if you're going to use a low dish like that, make sure you give it either a bit of butter or oil at first, because it will stick, right? And right up to the edge there. And what you're really doing is a simple process, just loading that in. Get a bit of that, obviously get that plastic off there, that on the edge, and just bring it up to the edge. And you can use a little bit extra, cut that there. Doesn't have to be too kind of neat, because you're just going to make it sort of a rustic dish. Just fill it to the edge. Make it sure you go to the edge. Doesn't matter how much you go there. I've got enough for a bit more there. And what we're doing is just going to bring that to the edge. Just checking the onion and capsicum again. You just want to really lighten that. It doesn't have to be too overcooked. Make sure you don't overcook it, of course. And just bring the edge. Now, with a bit of that extra pastry there, you might just want to just take it to the edge, okay? Oh, we lost Maggie. That's all right. Just get it as much around there on the edge, and that'll just nicely cook up. Now, just with this, just literally mixing up. Now, this spinach will wilt down, okay? So, whilst it probably looks like a lot in there, it won't be a lot when it starts to heat up in the dish itself. Okay, so just giving that a good mix through. You've got your salt, pepper, a bit of garlic in there. You could put a twist of chilli in if you want it, or you can add that in a little bit later on. We might add it in later rather than put it on now. Okay, just one quick final check on that. That's almost done. So it's just a case of folding that in there. We might give that a go. Again, as I said, you don't have to do too much of that. Now put it all together. Just careful with that. I've just done, as I said, I just did that with a bit of butter. And oven on 180. Mix that through as much as you can. Oop. There's a bit there for Maggie. We better pick that up because that'll be too hot. Okay, now, with that, you just want to sort of drop it in. Perfect. And with that scoop, just get that little bit extra in there. Make sure you pick it up. You could use a parmesan in there as well. It didn't matter really what cheese you did. But see, there's enough there just to kind of bake it around. Now, with the pastry itself, this is that really fine filo pastry that's quite brittle actually. So you just want to kind of really just scrunch it up. And give it that kind of, and I'm going to spray this with a bit of oil. So whilst it looks dry now, it'll now you can also do it with a bit of butter. You could do butter on that. You could get a little brush thing and do butter. I'm just going to do it really simple. It's quick, and just with that spray, you could use an olive oil spray or canola spray. Just really give it, because it will dry. Now, what you might want to do is just fold those edges of the pie up, just to kind of make it so it doesn't burn. A little bit extra of that. Now, beautiful. Plenty on there just to really soften up. A little bit of salt on it too, just to get that kind of crunchy, and a little bit of pepper on top. In the oven, about 20-25 minutes, and we'll show you what it looks like really quick. Well done, Speaky. So put a little, just a couple of sprinkles of sesame seeds on there as well, just to give it that little extra flavour. Looks pretty nice. Awesome. About 25 minutes or so in the oven, and we'll show you what it looks like.